Yes, indeed. This is the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by that very Tucson International Academy, which is not just one academy, but it's actually 4 different campuses around the fair city of Tucson, Arizona. And if you're looking to make college come true for your student, Tucson International Academy is the place to do it. I am Pastor John McLean, the Director of Veteran Rescue Mission and Home Community Services, the author of the book Dear Alyssa, How-To Guide to Social Change, as well as Dear Lion, Homelessness Explained to Kids. And will be joined by the Superintendent of Tucson International Academy, Dr. Jennifer Herrera. That's you right there. Welcome. And just walking into the studio here, we have Dr. Sophie, who is a fan favorite on this show for sure. We had her on the show, I want to think a few shows back, and she is a local pleasure. She is a chiropractor here in Tucson. She is Dr. J's chiropractor at that. So it's always a pleasure speaking with her. We'll have her on the show to talk about all the great stuff. But let's start off with one thing that I've been really wanting to do for the longest time is really take a whole entire segment just so I could gush over Tucson International Academy and the amazing work they do, particularly those who have never heard of Tucson International Academy and don't know about Tucson International Academy are kind of perturbed by the idea of a Tucson International Academy. Tucson International Academy has 4 different locations all around the city of Tucson, and their main focus is from kindergarten to 12th grade, because they're a K through 12 school network, is to get their kids into college. And their flagship, what they pride themselves on, rightfully so, is they have 100% acceptance rate for college for the kids that attend their school. So that's if that sounds astonishing and amazing, it's because it is. I mean, what their focus is once they get a child at age 5 all the way to 18, 19 years old is to do everything they can week in, week out, month in, month out, special events to ensure that not only do these kids have the opportunity to make it into college, but they see the plethora of opportunities in regards to the different type of colleges that they can choose. Not only, if they want an Ivy League college, what the different Ivy League colleges are. If they don't want an Ivy League college, what the other, the different options are. If maybe, they want to go to HBCU, and what are the different options on those. And certainly taking tours of the different campuses has been a big part of what Tucson International Academy does. They have this a senior night every single year where they do everything they possibly can to prepare these kids in regards to filling out their grants for college and applying for college and making sure they have all their forms ready and the preparation for their interviews and things in regards to college. So it's an awesome school. A big thing that I talk about in regards to Tucson International Academy that is like kind of I've circled on and why it seems like such an amazing place to me is this is a charter school that we're talking about. This is a public school, yet in a lot of ways you get a private school college prep education and experience from this, because not only do you have classes and you have instructors and admin that are there to make sure and help you succeed and help you get into college, but you got a small class load where you really get a personal experience with your instructors, unlike you'll get in maybe a classroom with 30, 40, 20, 30 students. In Tucson International Academy, you're talking about a classroom with maybe 5 to 10 students that really get special treatment. And a big thing I talk about a lot, and I love it. I love my alma mater, Hamilton High School. But the thing that I didn't get from Hamilton High School was from the beginning I entered that school till I left, I didn't have someone there every week, every month, every semester, every year to ensure I made it into college. I mean, realistically, even though I went to a really great school, Hamilton's an amazing school, the notion of going to college it really was. It wasn't introduced to me in high school. It was introduced to me by, my parents, thankfully, and introduced to me about the other people in my life that ensured that this was something that I made a part of my life, and that it was very important. And and the more and more I get to learn from Tucson International Academy, and keep in mind, I'm about as non-partial as somebody that's part of this radio show can be. Like, this isn't. I didn't go to Tucson International Academy. I don't really have a dog in this race in regards to this, but everything I'm hearing in regards to the events that they have, the way that they prepare their students, the way that this school is set up, it's just amazing. And not to mention the name. If you guys aren't catching that, Tucson International Academy, it just shows that they're viewing things from a perspective much larger than just what's happening locally, what's happening in the state, even what's happening nationally. A big part of Tucson International Academy are the events that they have. For example, I believe they have their Chinese New Year event coming up real soon, which is amazing. I mean, just imagine, not only are they having this celebration and having this event where they're celebrating the culture, from another country, but within Tucson International Academy, they actually teach the kids Chinese and Mandarin. That's one of the things that they do, as well as a big part of the Tucson International Academy is their events for the Mexican population as well, where one of the things they do at Tucson International Academy is they teach the kids Spanish as well as French. So this notion of Tucson International Academy, it's for real. Like, this is a school network that is really trying to do everything it can, not only to make college come true for its K through 12 students, but it's trying to give them an international worldview to bring with them to college, to bring with them whatever to the next step. Even if, and something Dr. J talks about a lot on this show, even if you choose a trade school, or even if you choose, a technical schools, there's other routes that aren't traditional college, but definitely a big thing that Dr. J and whether it's with her book Making College Come True or through Tucson International Academy is a big proponent on, is just making these opportunities available, preparing yourself for those opportunities. When you're a fifth grader, whether you want to be a doctor or you want to be a mechanic, knowing what those pathways to be the most successful doctor looks like, to be the most successful mechanic looks like, and how you can take these lessons at age 10 with you to age 40. And it's been a blessing for me to be able to be part of this show, be able to be part of the Tucson International Academy network, if at the minimal, in promoting and kind of getting the name out there. And certainly if you are a student with a kid ages K through 12 and you're looking to make college come true in their life, and let's just say you can't afford to send them to private school, Tucson International Academy is the way to go. And even if you can't afford to send them to private school, Tucson International Academy probably might be the way to go. So we'll be back right after this break with Dr. Sophie. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John, and I'll be back with Dr. J right after this break.
We now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Pastor John McClain, the Director of Veteran Rescue Mission Home Community Services, as well as the author of the book, Dear Alyssa, How to Guide to Social Change, and Dear Lion, Homelessness Explained to Kids. I am going to be joined by Dr. J real soon. She is the superintendent of Tucson International Academy. She is almost here, but until she gets here, I have she's coming in. I have Dr. Sophie with me here in studio, and she's going to tell us all the good stuff. So anyway, thank you anyways, Dr. Sophie, for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great. Excellent. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
For
yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is we're only 6 days in, but I feel like this is the best year of my life.
It's gonna get good.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
for those who didn't catch your appearance on the show last time, I guess tell them who you are, who you're with, and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am Dr. Sophie Jacobs. I'm in Tucson. I now
Nice.
have my office in Tucson. I've been in practice for a while. It's going on 26 years now, and I've been in Tucson for almost 22 or so.
Nice.
Anyway, originally from Quebec City. I'm French Canadian, so I speak 2 languages. I speak French fluently and English. And I got all my training as far as chiropractic doctor degree in the U.S. And I went
nice.
to Palmer College.
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing a whole holistic chiropractic care for the whole family, for from teenagers to adults and elderly and everybody. So, and then we do specific healthy, effective, safe weight loss and anti-aging program. So a lot of weight loss, a lot of helping people with losing weight
Nice.
the right way, healthily.
Wow.
And a lot of also getting out of pain and really staying healthy to really increase performance so everybody can have a better life, better performance in school, if we're talking about kids in school and in your program. And also their parents to be better parents and everybody, to really have a better life wherever you may be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm all about in my practice, is really to restore the health of people from within.
Nice.
Okay, so that is how it's worked. This is the beauty of this profession.
Mm-hmm.
Chiropractic has been around for a long, long time. But anyway, been in practice for a while and enjoy and really, truly enjoy the philosophy, the art and science of this. And I'm very excited to be on the show here today with all of you. And did I answer the question correctly, or is there more you want me to?
I think
Yeah.
the only thing you did was the name of your organization.
Oh, where healing begins naturally.
Where healing begins naturally. And
Yes.
just on the front side, and we'll go over this again at the end of this, but what is your contact information? How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can reach us. You can call us at 520-891-2882. So that's the best way. We also have wherehealingbegins.com if you want to look at the website, or TucsonHealthyWeightLoss.com. But the number 520-891-2882 is the best.
You're born for this. Awesome.
She's done a little bit of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And that beautiful voice, that is my Dr. J.
Yes, hello.
She has joined us here in studio. And we have your bud, Dr. Sophie,
Yes.
and here with us. So I'll let you take it away.
Yes. Well, I can't say enough about the power of chiropractics. I mean, chiropractic is a whole medical approach that is different than the pharmaceutical one, which is just like, oh, you have this symptom, take this pill. Oh, you have that problem, let's just cut it out. There are times and places for pharmaceutical and for cutting, but we tend to go that way first in times when you really didn't need to. So I can't say enough good about chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
Just like myself, when I had a hip problem, which it's still a little bit there, but the next steps with a regular doctor was, well, let's get an x-ray and let's get you scheduled for a hip replacement. I'm thinking, a hip replacement? I don't need a hip replacement.
Mm-hmm.
I just, it's stiff, it's sore. I mean, unless my bones have, deteriorated. But when I take my bone test every year that I take, it always comes back and says I have the bones of a 20-year-old. So it's like, I just couldn't see that was the thing to do. And I didn't even want to waste my time trying to get an x-ray, because God knows it takes forever. And then you go in and you have to sit and you have to wait, and then it takes forever for the results. So I was like, boy, is there something else I can try instead? And then of course I thought chiropractic, because years ago when I gave birth to my child, I had a epidural, and it messed up my back. My back was ruined, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk. I couldn't even hardly walk. It was horrible. And I think it was 3 weeks with chiropractic. I went like almost every day for the first week because I just couldn't walk and I was in so much pain. The second week, like 3 times a week, maybe for the next 3 weeks. And then like for the next 2 months, just went like once a week. And my back completely healed. Not only my back, but I had more energy. I just felt better. And of course, the chiropractor at the time that I was with introduced me to some supplements. And I thought, wow, I didn't know there were supplements for things like this. And so they gave me supplements, and I took them regularly as I was supposed to, and I got the result. So, I mean, just doing the few gentle things that they tell you to do with chiropractic is huge. Then with Dr. Sophie, she does not only adjustments on your spine and help with weight loss and cellular health and things like that with all the supplements, but she also has lasers that reduce the inflammation. And what is pain? Inflammation, right? So if you want to reduce the pain that you have, you're going to try to address the inflammation, which you can do with your diet. You can do with the lasers. You can do with the adjustment because it's taking the pressure off of the points that are being blocked. So just opening everything up. So what a neat thing. Who knew chiropractic was so powerful? But I will tell you who knows it's very powerful, and that is any professional athlete. They all use chiropractic. They all use sports medicine. It's got a definite component of chiropractic in it, and they're the ones using their body to the extreme. So if they are turning to chiropractic as well as medical doctors, they are getting the benefit of every world of medicine that there is. And I think that's key. That equals health, and feeling good equals quality of life. Yeah. And when you feel good and you're not drained from the pain of your leg or from the pain of your back or whatever is bothering you, and you're able to walk, you're able to get up and down without going, and jumping around like, oh no, it hurts. You can get so much more done. You have so much more peace in your life. You feel like not invincible, but you feel pretty confident. You just know you can do it. It's like, oh, we need to move tables. It's not like, oh, I don't know who I'm going to get to help move the tables. No, I just go help. If I have another person on the other end, bingo, I can move it, and I'm not going to mess up my back because I'm strong, I'm healthy. So it's just, I just think it's such a powerful venue that many people don't even know about. And I'm like teachers, I'm always telling everybody, be a teacher, because we need teachers. We need good quality, educated teachers who have studied how to teach. We need good quality chiropractors like Dr. Sophie Jacobs. So that's why at our school, I always introduce them to the ideas of maybe venues for career they've not considered. So this year, Dr. Sophie is going to be around, and she's going to tell them how do they get and pursue a career in chiropractic, and how, what are the benefits, and what do you get to see out of your patients, because that's the part that keeps you going.
Yeah, absolutely. We will talk more with Dr. Sophie after this break. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. If you have a student K through 12 that you're looking to make college come true in their life, go to TucsonInternationalAcademy.com. We'll be back right after this break.
We now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Let's go. Welcome back to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I am Pastor John McClain, the Director of Veteran Rescue Mission Home Community Services and author of the book Dear Alyssa, How-To Guide to Social Change, and Dear Lion, Homelessness Explained to Kids. And I'm here with, we missed this part earlier, the superintendent of Tucson International Academy, a former Tucson Unified School District educator, the author of the book that this very radio show was named after, Making College Come True, 10 Keys to Success, and the still the newest talk radio show host in the fair city of Tucson, Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah. On the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. Her name is Dr. Jennifer Herrera. Doesn't it just light you up hearing that doctor every single time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because and definitely having, a partner that I'll be married to in 29 days. I don't know if I mentioned it.
You
We're
did
getting
not
married
mention that.
February
That's
5th.
exciting.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's going, doing her dissertation. She's about to defend here in the next couple months. Like,
awesome.
You put in your work, man. You put in your work. So Yeah, we're all
a
proud
lot of
of you.
work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Every time you hear that doctor, you probably half have flashbacks and half like are proud. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's my title. Yeah, that's it. But speaking of doctors, we have Dr. Sophie here in studio with us. Another impressive person, impressive lady, if I may say so myself. And before we went into the break, Dr. J was kind of gushing over, the amazing work that comes out of Dr. Sophie's office and where healing begins naturally. And one thing definitely I wanted us kind of to circle back on, because it's for me, having been to a chiropractor a few times in my life, being in car accidents, I felt like I have some sense of the industry and what a chiropractor does. But what really makes my little propeller hat twirl is this idea that the implementation of the healing and all the other things that you do with chiropractic work that is far beyond the adjustments that I had done after my car accident. So I guess, tell us more about one, the thinking behind, how all these things are even connected, and then kind of, I guess, the different veins of what you do outside of just the chiropractic work.
Well, it really is about, I would call myself, I call it holistic because there's many interference that can take place in the body. So, getting hit in the car accident, mechanical stress, and then that we call it all goes down under one category, and that is structure. So which is the first is the foundation. So if you help the body, if you help the structure, you can help 80% most likely of a lot of problems of that can come from that. So from this, it emerge other interference. This is the foundation is structure. So we want to look for trauma one might have, or wear and tear, or repetitive motions, or just every day is an athletic event. Doesn't matter what you do. Sitting all day or doing some work, construction work. Those are all different stress that you put your body through. What that can cause some area of getting out of place. It's called subluxation, and that causes compromised function in the nervous system, irritates your nerve, and causes problem. To keep it really simple terms. And so addressing that, and we're trained in localizing and identifying and really finding this is a dysfunction, and challenging the body so the body will give us a cue, that needs to be corrected and addressed. So that can be caused from, like I mentioned, many other things, but structure dictates function. That's the number one key. So, and then the rest is, of course, people or nowadays, most likely everybody is some form lacking of some essential nutrients because of the poor diet or the stress we've put under, and or medications and things like that. So nutrition, replenishing, to help replenishing and helping glands and organs that needs help and assistance, so to help repair and regenerate. So nutrition is big key, and then other things is toxins. We have a lot of toxins all around us, and that can be aimed from, the air we breathe, the food we eat, what we drink, medications again, all environmental toxins, household, different things we use, products, cosmetics. All of us, we are, bombarded with toxins in and out. So this is another big interference one may have issues with, especially when we talk about helping people losing weight. This is one of the things that we really focus on and really help people with, helping eliminating toxins from the body. Just to keep it simple, I want to keep it simple. I'm trained as doing like what's called 6 steps to wellness, but really boils down to identifying where the problems are and how we can fix it, and then that's what we do. It's what I do as a scope as being a chiropractor, looking at structural interference. It's all about correcting some interference the body will show up with, and by eliminating that, then you allow the body to function better and repair, because the body is not there to fail us. We're here to heal and to thrive and to function. So it is all this is all that's really is about. So and what I'm doing in our office.
Well, that's interesting. So as you're going, like I think the last show we talked about how you got into chiropractic work. So, but as you're going through that school and that training, was it a natural pathway to also focus on the nutrition and this other stuff? Or was it kind of almost you had to reach a little outside of that curriculum to and bring it into what you were learning?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're really well trained, so to speak, in the science and the art and the structural work and the chiropractor and all that. But yeah, I always been, fitness and wellness, fitness and performance and nutrition. That's kind of been a lot of important things in my life too. So that's how, and I always been involved in sports as I grew up, and also wellness, and I was always very interested in nutrition and supplements and those things. So that's how I started doing more and more and more of that, and helping people with having healthy weight or managing their doing the weight loss. I think for the past, I would say 15, 20 years has always been part of it. But adjustments, actually, chiropractic and weight loss, like weight loss and adjustment, actually go hand in hand. It's not something like you hear in the mainstream, but as you work on the spine, it does help your muscle. It helps your decrease pressure on the spinal cord and allow a better circulation, a better lymphatic system. So that also equate with better absorption of nutrients that your body may need to help support the weight loss.
Nice.
Other thing is, it de-stresses your body. The stress you were put in affects the hormones, and those hormones, when they're too high, that causes us to crave sweets also, right? And the stress spelled backward is dessert. So we want sugar.
Delicious.
You get stressed to eat those desserts.
We'll talk about more on that after this break. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John, here with Dr. J. We'll be right back.
We now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
All right, we're back here with Tucson International Academy's radio show called Making College Come True. And we have with us the famous Pastor John McLean. Yay!
You're too much. Go on.
And it's going to cost you more. No. I love it. I'm so glad to be here with John, and we have an awesome guest in the studio with us today, and that is Dr. Sophie Jacobs from Where Healing Begins. And she is a chiropractic doctor, but she part of her doctoring goes above and beyond what you would maybe think of as far as chiropractic go. There are chiropractors that just adjust and that's it. And yes, that's a good thing. But sometimes you can go above and beyond. So in this segment, I was telling them at the break, I would really like to talk about going above and beyond. And why is that important?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it good enough just to do this or just to do that? Isn't it good enough that I just got a high school diploma? Isn't it good enough that I passed the class with a C? Why do I have to get an A? I mean, it's a lot of work. I had to study more. I had to, actually go to a study group, or I had to, spend hours almost late into the night of finishing my paper because it wasn't good. So I would rather just get my sleep. There are so many things that we do that later on we look back and we see the value. Gosh, I wish I would have gotten, a little bit more with my education, because you don't know what the job market's going to be. Look at it now. It's weird out there. It's strange. Nobody really wants to work.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, I am having to recruit people for teaching that are not even teachers. And I mean, they have no background in teaching. And the funny thing is that sometimes our applicants will want like an equivalent salary to someone who's an experienced teacher with a degree. And they don't have a degree. So it's a different world out there. And what I'm here to say today, since we have this show, and what Tucson International Academy is all about, is being the better person. And I don't mean better than somebody else to put others down. No, be that quality source in the community. And how can you be a quality source if you don't put in the work? You're not going to have a good garden if you don't till the ground right and fertilize it and then plant it and then make sure it's got adequate hydration. So, I mean, and you're not going to have a good quality life if you don't take care of your body. And if you have a car wreck and you just leave that back out, goodness, you're going to have a lot of pain that you wouldn't have had to have if you would have just stepped outside of the box and gotten a little chiropractic care. Taking care of your health, eating right, stop the fast food. If it's giving you a stomach ache, there's your clue that it's not good for you. And so the higher road, there's a famous book. I don't know, have either of you seen the book, The Road Less Traveled?
By Scott Peck.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I love that book. That book is like a foundational keystone of Tucson International Academy. The Road Less Taken is all about yes, I could do this. This is common and it is good. And my parents did it, so it would be good. But what if I took the other travel road, the road that they didn't take, that they talked about, but they didn't do? Something sparked me about that. So maybe that causes the person to consider a road less traveled. You can always find the easy in life. Easy in life does happen. And we will tend to default to that, right? Because we're tired. We want to have comfort. We want to have easy. But then you find once you get comfort and easy, for some of us, I guess I cannot speak for everybody, I get really bored. And if I get a little bored, I'm not very fun to be around. And I just make trouble. It's like I have to keep myself challenged. And that's like a lot of my students. I find in a classroom of students, if you don't keep them challenged, they'll start causing trouble. They'll start throwing paper wads, or they'll pass notes, or they'll start giggling about something, or they'll drop like 50 pencils, and you're like, all right, what's going on? They're bored. So keeping yourself in a place in life where you are challenged in a healthy way, I think, is the key. And so at Tucson International Academy, that is what we do. And we say, let's prepare for college. There's a lot of things you can do for college. You could go to the military and get a bit of an equivalent of a college degree, because you are in classes a lot in the military, right? You were. What kind of stuff did they teach you in those classes?
Well, I was a fuel and water chemist, so I learned fuel
science.
and water chemistry. Yeah, I did a lot of chemistry. And I went to, I think, a 15-week school prior to even doing anything. Right out of basic training, right into a 15-week school. And then they let you do something after that. So, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have training. Any job you go to, they're going to have a period of time where they're training you. Either they're paying you on the job while you get trained, or they're not going to pay you until you're trained. And so that's the value of knowing that you're going to need training. So let's get the basics down. Earlier, Dr. Sophie was talking about structure is the key. You got to have a healthy structure. So I was thinking when she was saying that is something I tried to do at Tucson International Academies. I try to set us up with a structure of our program that is solid. Like it's reading, it's writing, it's arithmetic, it's science, it's health. And then just for fun and for that challenge factor, we add Spanish. Oh, but a lot of our people already speak Spanish. That's good, but let's make them good at speaking it. Not that they can just talk the sailor version, or the version that's just casual. Let's help them actually be able to speak it, read it, write it, know it, and do a full program of Spanish. And not only that, but let's enjoy the culture. Let's have Dia Seis, the Independence Day of Mexico, because Mexico is our neighbor. And let's also learn about the other Independence Days of other nations that speak Spanish. Let's learn about the folkloric dancing. Dances and arts teach you a lot about the values of a culture. So that's where we add the challenge. Okay, well, you can do your reading, writing, math, science, and history, but let's look at Spanish. And if that isn't enough for you, let's do Chinese. Okay, so we have Mandarin Chinese for every single child in Tucson International Academies. They have a certified Chinese teacher who's from China who comes in and teaches them a lot of oral language. So they learn about the tones, they learn about the basic characters, they learn basic, I think they call it pinyin, for writing some things. And they also learn how to introduce themselves in Chinese. They learn how to carry some basic cultural things, like don't write anything in red and hand it to a Chinese person. You're telling them to die. I mean, just little things like that. And that's a superficial version. But there is something to do with red ink and China. So if you want to communicate effectively, you would need to know those little things. That's what we do in our programs. And we have a huge Chinese New Year coming up March 1st at the Burger. And the kids
Nice.
at our 4 Tucson International Academies, K-12, will all be performing.
Yeah, I thought
on
that was coming
stage.
up. I saw it on
Yeah.
my memories
Yes.
from last year. I shared it. So yeah, I mentioned it the first segment that
That's
it was coming
awesome.
up. Yeah.
It is the next thing. Well, the next thing is celebrating our book writers. Did you know that we have 2 students who won a recent contest with Padion Publishing to have their story that they wrote in school turned into a book?
Nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
2 kids are now going to be authors.
That's
So
amazing.
the Padion Publishing has Mama Goose and Papa Goose.
Mm,
And
mhm.
they live their caricature.
I miss Mama
and-
Goose and Papa Goose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, it's
Well,
been too long since we had them on.
You're gonna see them, and we'll have them on when they're here in the week of Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Because it's a
nice.
Love of Reading Week, and what better way to celebrate than with Padion Publishing, their publishing company, and then they do book concerts. And so we're going to have a concert of where it's singing and it's speaking and it's dramatizing some of the stories they have written. And this
Nice.
year we're even going to have a parent night where they're going to perform a book where the kids are narrating it. It's going to be really fun.
That's super cool.
So we're excited so much. So why do we do all that? I mean, we don't have to, right? Is it cheap? No, it is not cheap for me to bring these people. But I'm a good grant writer, and I have found a way to finance the benefit of having these professionals who eat, breathe, and drink publishing and writing, and both of them have children's books, and they have technical books as well. Mama Goose is a certified teacher. So it's not like it's just somebody who kind of likes kids and kind of wants to read stories. She taught reading and writing in first grade for years.
Nice.
And now she's retired and she does this as her continuation of education. And it's unique. It's beautiful. They wear full costumes. That's just gorgeous. So I'm very excited that they're coming. That is the extra that we do for our kids to celebrate education. Reading and writing is it's necessary. We all do it. But to celebrate it at that next level where you can help your students from your school get published, that's a whole nother level. So you'll be able to buy those books on Amazon. And we'll certainly be announcing that later.
Nice.
It's our 20th year. We've been open for 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
You're not old enough to have been doing it for 20 years.
No, I'm not. I morphed. I time traveled.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, I went back. So yes, I still look the same. Not, but but I'm so excited that we have 20 years, and you know what? We have a contract for another 15 years. So we will have been open a total of 35 years, and we'll probably renew that contract again, assuming the laws stay the same. So it's very exciting getting to be in education and getting to make a mark in the community of Tucson. Tucson people are great people to work with. I love our families. They are hungry. They want to work. They want to get the best. They want that higher quality of life. So they got to get their structure in. So if we think of it educationally, yeah, you have to have your reading, writing, math. But you also want to celebrate that at the highest levels with the different dances and arts and writing and getting published. And just like Dr. Sophie says, also your health. Taking care of your health, getting the right structure, and keeping that structure maintained with some adjustments, and then adding the extras, some of her extras like the red light and like the beamer. those are treatments that I have partaked in that have made all the difference in the world. So,
Yeah. And speaking of Dr. Sophie, thank you, Dr. Sophie, for joining us today. Those who were listening, that's Where Healing Begins Naturally. The phone number is 520-891-2882. Also go to wherehealingbegins.com or TucsonHealthyWeightLoss.com are both really good websites to connect with them and set an appointment today. Again, that's wherehealingbegins.com. And the phone number is 891-2882. This is the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John McClain here with Dr. J. We'll see you next week.
yes, thank you.